Hey friend, in this video, we are going to be painting a loose style cherry blossom sprig. This is a wonderful flower to practice. It's great for adding as a filler flower sprig. In very big floral explosion pieces, this fits really nice and snug in between big flowers. So it's great to practice this sprig, not just for painting cherry blossoms, but just in general for big, loose floral composition explosion pieces, technical terms. So if you're ready, let's dive in. I'm going to show you an easy way to paint this cherry blossom spriggy sprig. Let's do it. All right, so I'm going to grab my size 6 brush and mix up a color for the stem of the cherry blossom sprig. I'm going to use burnt umber and Mars black. More burnt umber than Mars black in the ratio. And then for my stem, I am going to use the side of my brush. So I'm going to have a slanted hold, probably about 35 degrees away from the paper. And with little to no pressure, I'm just going to glide my brush up at this diagonal, for a diagonal stem like this. And then I'm going to bring out another diagonal shape. And maybe another one. And we can add a few more stems on this later on once we get the flowers on here, but I'm going to start with that. So I just lightly glided my arm across the paper with my brush at a 35-degree angle for these stems and had little shoot offs here. All right. And now I'm going to mix up my cherry blossom color, which is going to be Opera Rose, a lot of water, and a touch of Lemon Yellow Deep. You can Google image or Pinterest image some shots of cherry blossoms, but I'm going to do this light blushy color. So it's Lemon Yellow Deep and Opera Rose. And to start, I'm just going to start with some buds first. So using my size 6 brush again, I am going to go up to some of these stems and just with a 35 to 45 degree angle away from the paper, I'm just going to place my brush and lift. And then do the same thing on the other side. Push and lift. I also did this for our video where I paint 10 easy flowers in watercolor. I did this for the lavender flower. For some, I'm going to grab some more Opera Rose. So there's some that are more pink in hue, and then some there's going to be more yellow. Making sure that I'm pointing my brush back to where the stem is because all of these little buds are growing out of that stem. Lightning. Then I'm going to do a full bud over here. So a cherry blossom flower is a star-shaped flower. So I am going to start with the top of the star. I'm going to point my brush to the center of where I want the flower to be. and do the same strokes I've been doing for these little buds. So point, press, and lift. Point, press, and lift. So there's one arm of my star. Point towards the center. Point, press, point, press. So we have a star-shaped flower, like that. Maybe one over here. And let's do one more full bud down here. So it's super simple. You're just doing these pressing strokes and making sure you rotate your brush so that it's always pointing back to the center of where the cherry blossom is, the center of the flower. And I'm overlapping the stem here. So don't be afraid to overlap other areas of flowers or the stem. The more petals and flowers you have, the more dense the stem feels, which is lovely. And then I'm going to go back in and add some more stems to make it feel a little more dense. Then sometimes the buds still have the sepals around them, this green kind of shell. When a bud pops out of the stem, it has this green shell around it, and then it starts to peel off. So, and then the bud is revealed, the petals are revealed. So I'm gonna do the same stroke that I did for the buds for the flowers, but with really yellow-green mixture. So sap green and lemon yellow deep mixed up for this. So I'm going to do that same bud stroke for some of these like really early looking shoots of blossoms. And then we'll add some little leaves and we're done with this little cherry blossom sprig. So for my leaf mixture, I'm just going to add a little bit more sap green to my lemon yellow deep and sap green mix. So it's not the same hue as these sepal bud things. And then I'm just going to do these little leaves. If you need help with your leaves, we have a full series on how to paint leaves that will really help you. Leaves can be really difficult, so make sure you check that video out. Then we can add the centers to our full blooms, our open blooms, which I'm gonna do a really deep brown and just do some dots. We're just trying to convey a nod of cherry blossom. This isn't a hyper realistic painting, so we're just going to grab this dark brown and do maybe 3 dots for our center. If some of the petals are still wet, that's okay. Kind of a cool look. And there you have it, cherry blossom. Alrighty folks, there you have it. Very fun and easy. So I chose to do this like peachy, blushy color for my cherry blossom, but you can do a straight pink with a dark pink as an accent flower. Google image, Pinterest images are your friend here to stay inspired by what shapes and colors cherry blossoms come in. But the overall shape of this cherry blossom flower is a star shape. I talk about this flower in great detail in my book, Everyday Watercolor Flowers. So if you don't have it yet, make sure you check it out on Amazon. It's amazing. It's got a lot of flowers in there, specifically the cherry blossom. But I show you how to dissect every flower shape, star shape, circular shape, bowl shape, bell shape, all the different shapes, so you can get really comfortable with painting flowers. Hope you loved this video. I had fun. Make sure you comment below with what your favorite part was to paint this cherry blossom. Maybe you really enjoyed the stem because you're really good at painting straight lines. Or maybe your most enjoyable part was when you were done and you were no longer stressed about it anymore. I hope you weren't stressed though. It's all about being playful and coming back to that playful spirit that we all have when we're kids, and then, you know, we forget about it when we become adults. So let's get playful again. It's really good for our brains. Anyways, make sure you like this video, comment below with what your favorite part of this video was, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. But you're creating a nice little sunflower on its side. And then maybe we have our stem curving at the top.